Ankur, I have joined you now. Okay, allow my video to be started. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Hello, Professor Jadeja.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
So, Tarak sir, shall we start?
Yes, sir. With permission of sir, we can start.
Yeah, of course. Sanjay sir, with your kind permission, we would like to begin the session.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. We are already late by a minute or two, so please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, good morning and welcome one and all present over here in this inaugural session of 1 week FDP Faculty Development Program on the New Age Infrastructure, their analytical and design solution. The Faculty Development Program is organized by the Department of Civil Engineering, Marwadi University, and supported by the Atal Academy. So, without any further...
Good morning, Tarak sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. So, without any further delay, we will begin the session with a prayer. So, I request Professor Amit to play the prayer, and then we'll listen to our chief guest and honorable provost of the Marwadi University, Dr. Sandeep Sancheti sir, and then we'll move on with the objectives of the FDP, which will be shared by Dr. Tarak, and Dr. Siddharth will brief us about the department. So we move on with the prayer. Amit sir, please do the needful. Thank you, Professor Amit, for this prayer. And now I will request our chief guest, sir, Honorable Provost, sir, Marwadi University, Dr. Sandeep Sancheti, sir, to bless us with his words of encouragement. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ankur. Very good morning to everyone. My distinguished colleagues, Professor Jadeja. I'm not sure if I'm having Professor Jhala here, Professor Tarak, Professor Ankur, Professor Siddharth, Professor Amit, Professor Hussain, and most importantly, all the participants of the FDP. A very good morning to all of you from Marwadi University in Rajkot. I'm very happy that a good number of participants have joined for this FDP being arranged by or organized by Civil Engineering Department of our university Of course, the Atal Academy of AICT is supporting this, and they are supporting many, many such initiatives. They are supporting such initiatives throughout the year nowadays. Every week you'll find some FDPs are being run so that people can do it remotely and very easily, things of their choice. And we are happy and we are thankful that AICT gave us this opportunity. I'm also associated with these Atal FDPs indirectly because I'm one of the assessors for them. And therefore, there is always a great deal to learn what they do and how expertise from all over the world and also expertise from within the institutions and within India are being roped in to run what we call generally a 1 week FDP sessions. And this is another one which is on the new age infrastructure. Obviously, design, synthesis, analysis, every aspect, analytical or otherwise, are involved in this. And I'm sure those who are attending it will find it very invigorating, very interesting, very enthralling, and hopefully you will enjoy and learn something more. Why this topic has been chosen probably would be justified by Professor Tarak and Professor Ankur and others when they speak to you. But in my language, in layman's understanding, I think infrastructure is the most defining aspect of any economy. I know that typically some time back it was said that Japan is under some sort of a economic depression, and the reason which was identified by the experts, I was just reading that, which was identified by the experts, that Japan was unable to do enough investment on the new age infrastructure. The reason for that was there were no requirements. The population growth, various other factors were not there, and therefore they were not building enough infrastructure. And as a result, the economy was in recession. So you understand the importance of new age infra, that how important it is the most defining thing. India today, if it is thriving, I think it is because of the investment in infrastructure, which then percolates down to a lot of jobs and a lot of materials and a lot of supply chains and lots of other things in terms of utilization and circulation of money, which is there. So you are using your manpower and expertise constructively to make the economic growth happen. And that is the reason why, in spite of Corona times and some challenging times, or pandemic or whatever, India is able to survive because India has focused on the growth of economy through infrastructure. And I would also say that this infrastructure is also must for all of us. One, because it gives us a good ambience to work if it is a good infrastructure, good support. Very importantly, it raises your self-esteem. If I'm in a new building, I'm in a very high-class building, I'm in a very well-designed building, my esteem goes up, my belief in what we do goes up. And then, of course, impression to the outside world also improves. Wherever I have gone, whether it is USA or whether it is UAE or Taiwan, I've always made sure that those tall buildings is where we will visit and we'll take our photographs and we'll try to find out how high-rise building things work and what is so special in that, whether it is the construction or whether it is the electrical supplies or the lifts which are there or the drainage system or whatever that may be, they may be having. I think that everything falls into a unique case. And of course, with the tall buildings, the wind and other aspects become much more significant. And therefore, those are very important. To give you some examples of what we call as the spatial infrastructures being built in India, I do not know much, but I would say that there are a lot of long haul tunnels and bridges. And within the Gujarat, where I'm sitting right now, the statues, the Patel, Sardar Patel's statue, which was built recently, which has been a marvel and very throng place. And then, of course, rail links of different kind, the highest rail link in the world. Every such thing India has also started doing. Earlier, we used to see it from the Western world or sometimes from China and Korea and Japan that they were doing it. But now India has also assumed that power and that position. And therefore, we as an educational institution should learn from that and should teach those things to our students and to make sure that everyone feels confident. When it comes to the quality of education by teachers, I think if you can teach them high-end challenges, then they start believing in themselves and they think, yes, this can be done by us also. But if you just expose them to general things, general design concepts, they may or may not have the self-belief. That's the difference which is there. I met many Indians who have set up their consultancies in US and who have designed buildings taller than 100 stories in US very easily. But to find one such thing in India is still difficult. Reasons may be many, but the point is we need to be more knowledgeable about that. And obviously, these kind of learnings will throw you with new challenges of designs and the buildings which you can do, the spaces which you can create, and various aspects which I have just narrated has to be taken care in the whole process. So if I take Indian examples, I'll possibly say, if you have known from AICT, UWork is a scheme which was floated by AICT something like 4 or 5 months back only. And this was about those big bridges that built in the J&K. And they were taking students to those sites to explain them every aspect of foundation, the building construction, the testing, the monitoring, whatever is required in that terms. And lots of students have taken advantage of that. I know that the students from MNIT Jaipur, where I served for some time, took advantage and they went under the UWork scheme there to learn more about those special designs of bridges and all that which were there. Similarly, I know that 10 years back when I was heading, 11, 12 years back when I was heading NIT Surathkal, we had an offer that time from the Bangalore Metro. The person in charge was a good friend of ours. He was an engineer from Delhi College of Engineering. And he offered us that, Professor Sancheti, you and your staff and your teams and students can participate in that, be part of our study and all the drilling and tunneling which we do. Someone can come and make it as a project, capture the data, make it case studies and make other people's learn. At that time, we were not probably wise enough or we were not having enough control to do all that. But today, this UWork scheme, which AICT has floated, is trying to do the same thing. And therefore, at every instance, when you see a big project, something happening, find a connect, go and learn why they are doing something like that. I know that sometimes architects will also get involved other than civil engineers, but they have a cohesive role because there is an aspect of air, there is an aspect of water circulation, there is an aspect of light, there is an aspect of whatever such energy efficiency in general you can say, then mechanical engineering people in terms of air conditioning, and then electronic engineering people in terms of what you call as the audio systems and sound systems and ecos and all that. Various other domains of engineering come together when it comes to new age infra. New age infra is now a very, very diverse thing. Please try to learn about all that. I'm sure these 5 days of your learning will be very, very important for you to believe in yourself that you can do it and your colleagues and your friends can do it. I'm sure the experts who are in big number, I was just going through the list of experts from various domains, will teach you various concerned aspects in terms of construction technology, the concepts and the designs, the structural designs, the measurements, the evaluation of a whole project or the in situ strength of various things which are there, various other aspects which can be there, would be there. And more than that, today's building will be equipped with a lot of sensors and measurements, which will constantly tell us the health of this, the infrastructure or the building or the structure itself. So there are many, many aspects which I'm sure you'll be getting exposed to that. But yes, emphasis probably would be more on the concrete designs and the structural design aspects because it is being dealt by the civil engineering people. But whatever it is there, try to learn that, because I believe that the beauty lies in building the infrastructure, and New India is doing it, and so should be the academic world should do it, that build those things in terms of concepts and designs by learning them. So on this occasion, I would like to congratulate my team for taking lead in doing this FDP, and all the congratulations to the participants also, that they have vouched, they have made themselves available to this learning. So my best wishes. I hope you will be enriching yourself and enriching the rest of the student community also through your efforts. So thank you and my best wishes. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your encouraging and excellent integration of the concepts of infrastructure and the institutions, how an institute can contribute to this vertical. So we gracefully acknowledge the presence of our Dean, Dr. R.B. Jadeja, sir, of the Faculty of Science and Technology and Research. Sir has been involved every time, whether directly or indirectly, always inspiring us for organizing such events. So continuously his support we keep on receiving on all the occasions. So we are thankful to him for sparing his time with us. We have Mr. Iswaran Ramamurthy also with us in this inaugural session. So we welcome you, sir. And now, without any further delay, I would request Dr. Tarak for sharing the objectives of this FDP to the participants. As we can see, the participants are growing in their numbers, so they are continuously joining this, so it's a good sign. So, sir, please carry on and briefly explain the objectives.
Thank you, Ankur sir. Good morning, everyone. Respected Sanchetti sir, respected Jadeja sir, respected Ishwaran sir, my colleagues and dear participants. So the objective, if I share with you, that the three words, that the largest, tallest or highest, these are the words, they are connected with the Indian infrastructure now. Initially, when we were students, at that time, if we were studying different structures, at that time, those structures were belong to either US or China or Arabian states. So now these words we can connect with Indian infrastructure, and that is the proud moment for all of us. That the highest, tallest statue that we have, largest stadium that we have, or the highest bridge, railway bridge made up of steel arch structure that is with us, that is being under construction right now. But these things are connected with Indian infrastructure, and now we are hopeful that such kind of marvel structure that will come up in India in various parts. So for that, whenever the topic we have taken is for that reason only, that when we are talking about such spatial structures, at that time, designing or erecting these structures is not going to be a simple task. And what is the job of an engineer? That whatever typicality, whatever the difficulties that is there at the design or execution stage, that we have to simplify. That is what is the simple job of an engineer. So like that, when we talk about such spatial structures, at that time, there will be some different aspect which we have to consider, because it is unpredicted thing which we have to consider in the analysis and design. So at that time, how those unpredicted things they are considered, how that difficulty that is taken care of in analysis and design, as well as it is equally important task to execute such structures as per the initial design assumptions. So this is going the most typical part of a structural engineer. That's why here we have taken the first part as a spatial structures, both the structure, Statue of Unity and Narendra Modi Stadium, both we have covered, and the design team which was involved actually in the analysis, design and erection, the team from L&D heading with Sri Ishwaran sir, That will be there. Today's second session will be from L&T. Then the team which was involved in the construction of Statue of Unity, Thakkar sir would be heading that team, and today we will have that third session in today's schedule. So like this, special structures we have counted. Then second difficulty, that is the earthquake. Earthquake resistant structure is again a challenging task for us. And India is facing lots of collapses when earthquake comes. So at that time, what are the different concepts they are considered to counter those earthquake forces? So for that, we will be having two sessions. One will be taken by Dev sir from NIT Raipur, and second session on earthquake will be taken by Snehal Mewada sir from BVM Engineering College. So second aspect of earthquake that is considered like this. Then third aspect is the health monitoring, when we call the smart structures. Okay, so smart structures means we should be able to know the live condition of the structure as per the loading conditions. So what are the current techniques, what are different sensors, and what are the technologies they are used. So for that, we will be having one session from Ayan sir from Canada, and one session from EMIL Limited. Senior engineer Tarun Patel, who is involved in the field testing, will be taking those sessions. And the last and important aspect is the concrete, because concrete is a major material which is used. So how the concrete innovatively improved to have the sustainable structure, and how its function can be improved, that will be taken by Ankur sir. So such a way, we have divided this new age infrastructure into the four important categories like this, and whatever the typicalities they are there, that will be discussed during this 5 days. So I am very much hopeful that all the sessions that will be very much informative to all the participants, and I'm sure that each and everyone will get something out of this FDP. So with this, I conclude. Thank you everyone once again, and over to you, sir, Ankur sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Tarak, for sharing the objectives of the FDP with participants. Now, quickly, I would invite Dr. Siddharth for briefing the participants regarding the facilities that we have at our department in very brief way. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar, respected Dr. Sancheti sir, Honorable Dr. R.B. Jadeja sir, our guest of honors and expert speaker, Professor Iswaran, my fellow colleagues, Dr. Tarak and Dr. Ankur, all the esteemed participants and my colleagues. I welcome you all to this 1 week STTV program, and I am assigned the task of introducing our department. So if I talk about civil engineering department, then it is one of the most active department of the university, and we have a very program running from diploma to undergraduate, postgraduate in structural, transportation and geotechnical engineering, as well as we have around 20 research scholars pursuing their PhD. If I talk about the other extra activities, then I am feeling proud that since 2014 we are conducting one short-term training program or workshop or some webinars or some technical events at least twice or thrice in a year. Just last month only we have completed 1 week STTP on application of AI, IoT and nanotechnology in civil engineering, sponsored by Gujcost. And in this November, we are again organizing one STTP. So department is very active in that. Not only that, our department is very active in doing consultancy and testing work. Our department is approved, authorized by GPCB and Road and Building Construction Department and Rajkot Municipal Corporation. Our department's laboratory are NABL approved. So by saying that, we can take proud that ours is the one of the premier department across the state of Gujarat whose laboratories are accredited with NABL. Further, I am very proud that with the leadership of our dean and our vice chancellor sir, all the faculties of the department are trained of the international universal collaboration for engineering education, and we are striving for student-centric learning, and we are practicing the active learning techniques. We are implementing project-based learning. We are implementing and experimenting in our assessment schemes also, and we are allowing the projects and even open book exam in our PG programs. So that is the strength of our department, and I wish all the participants very best of luck for this learning. So wish you a happy learning and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for nicely briefing about the insights and the achievements of the department with the participants. And with this, we have come to the closing point of this inaugural session. As we all know that we are eagerly waiting for the speakers to start their sessions. So at this moment, I'm on behalf of the department and the university, we are thankful to our chief guest and provost sir, Dr. Sandeep Sancheti sir, our dean sir, Dr. R.B. Jadeja sir, our one of the experts that we can see now, they have joined, Mr. Iswaran and Dr. U. Johnson Ellingram sir from the University of Malaya, Malaysia. So, sir, we are about to start our session, first session. So we are thankful to all the dignitaries sparing their valuable time for this inaugural session. And participants, we would like to have you on the same link. So there is no need to go anywhere. So this link will work for the session. So thank you one and all again for being a part of this inaugural session. Thank you all. And we are starting our first session just in 2 minutes. So thank you all once again for being present in this inaugural session. Thank you all.